Everyone, welcome back to another NGINX series. Today we will learn NGINX as a reverse proxy complete setup tutorial. First of all, let's know that what is proxy. A proxy is a server that acts as an intermediary between clients and servers. It receives requests, it means proxy. Proxy receive requests from the client and forward them to the destination server and return back the response to client. In fact, proxy relay the communication. How? Think that in here we configured a proxy. We have a proxy server. This is the client that is requesting a URL from the internet. Now the request is coming in proxy. The proxy processes the request, send the client request to the internet and take back the response and again process it and send it to the client. It's the main functional job of a proxy. The proxy has any types that we will go on with reverse proxy and forward proxy. What are these and how it behave? What are the key functions for proxy? The key functions are security that hide your real IP address, making it harder for websites to track your locations. How? For example, you are configuring a forward proxy in here. These are your clients that are requesting to the internet web servers. The requests are coming first on to reverse proxy. It hide your IP address and send your request to the internet. These websites don't know what is your client or what is your network IP address. The tracks are difficult. Next is access control and filtering. Proxy used in organizations to block certain websites, some social medias, also can block malicious websites and protect against some cyber attacks. How it occurs? When the requests are coming to the proxy know what is your request. The proxy server filter your request. If you accessed a block server, it block your request and send it a null response. If your request is valid, it send the request to the destination and take back the response and send the response to you. Bypass the geolocation, allow access to region locked content, for example, Netflix, that is not opening in your country and you configure a proxy server for your network, you will be able to access the Netflix. Next is caching for speed. Proxy is able to store frequently accessed web page to reduce load timer. For example, you're configuring a proxy here when a user is request to a web server from here. Your request come here, the static contents are stored in here after one request. The response is coming here, some response are saved for the next time when you request this website. Some contents are serving from your proxy and some dynamic contents are solving by web server. Next is load balancing. Proxy can distribute loads across multiple servers to empower performance. You're configuring, for example, a reverse proxy. When a client, you have 10,000 clients that are requesting to your web server, that reverse proxy is able to distribute your loads between two server. If you have configured three server, it will distribute your traffics. The proxy has more types. We will go on with forward proxy and reverse proxy. Both forward proxy and reverse proxy act as an intermediaries in network traffic, but they serve different purpose. Now let's go on with forward proxy. What is forward proxy? Forward proxy sit between the client and internet. You configure forward proxy. These are your clients in your network. These are your clients in the network. It sits between the clients and the internet. This is your internet. All the requests from your clients are coming to the forward proxy, and forward proxy filter your requests and send to the destination and take back the response and send to you. The clients connect to proxy server first and you send the request to your proxy server. The proxy server forward your request to the destination. The usage of forward proxy is to hide a client IP address for privacy. You can hide your client's IP address here. It can bypass geo restriction or content blocking. Also, caching speed up a repeated request by storing copies. You repeat the request from one web server that you have multiple times. For the first time, it caches the static contents, and the next time that you're requesting to the web server, some contents are serving from the proxy for better performance, and the dynamic contents are serving from web server. What is reverse proxy? The reverse proxy flow is the opposite with a forward proxy. It's set in front of your backend server. The forward proxy was located in here before the clients, but the reverse proxy is set in front of your backend server. For example, you have multiple web servers, mobile applications that are running in your servers. The reverse proxy is set in front of your backend servers. The clients first connect to your reverse proxy. The reverse proxy next send the client request to the destination server, take back the response, and send back the response to the client. The usage of reverse proxy is more. The reverse proxy in here can handle load balancing to the multiple server. For example, the clients are more than 10,000, more than 5,000. The reverse proxy can handle this test 10,000 to server load balance 5,000 requests here and 5,000 here, or if you have 3 server, 4 server, as you configure. It can handle SSL termination for your backend servers and hide backend server infrastructure. After configuring reverse proxy, for example, for your web server, this web server IP is, for example, 192.168.110. If you configure reverse proxy, after that, that is not necessary that you browse this IP address to solve your web server. Just you need to solve the NGINX IP address. For example, the NGINX IP address is 192.168.10.11. If a client browse this IP address, it take the request and send the request to the backend server, take the response and send back the response to the client. Reverse proxy is also able to cache the data to reduce server loads. In summary, we can say that forward proxy protect the clients, hide their IP address, filter the contents, and something else. But reverse proxy protect your servers. For example, it's able to load balance. In security, also it's able for caching data. Now let's go on NGINX as a reverse proxy. NGINX is a high performance and powerful web server that is also used as a reverse proxy, as a load balancer, and also can be used as an HTTP cache. Also, we can use as a forward proxy in our networks. We said that reverse proxy set in front of your backend server, that all the requests from the clients are first coming to our NGINX server. The NGINX server send your request to backend server, take the response from backend server, and send the response again to you. Why use NGINX as a reverse proxy? NGINX is able to load balance between the servers. Also, it's able for SSL termination, for caching, for security, for compression the connectivity between your servers and the reverse proxy. Also, it's used as an application firewall. Now let's configure our server as a reverse proxy. We have installed earlier an Ubuntu server. Inside Ubuntu server, we installed NGINX. Now inside I have a backend server which is serving 172.17.10.102. This is my web server that is running with this IP address. The NGINX that I'm installed IP address is 172.17.3.43. Now I will configure my NGINX as a reverse proxy for my backend server, which is my next cloud. How the configuration is, let's go. Now let's browse my backend server that I have 172.17.10.102 is serving on port 8080. This is my next cloud. I will configure a reverse proxy to my next cloud to secure my next cloud. How to configure it? Let's go. I installed an Ubuntu server earlier and also installed NGINX. Let's SSH to our Ubuntu server. I'm connected to my Ubuntu server successfully. Now navigate to the commands. First of all, to implement these commands, first we have to make a file inside /etc/nginx. There is a directory site dash available. Inside site dash available, we will create our configurations files. That this is our configuration that proxy pass our request from the client to our backend server. We will create a file by the name of my proxy. Inside this file, we will copy and paste all this configuration and change on our need. After that, there is another directory inside /etc/nginx by the name of site-enable. We have to link my proxy configuration to site-enable. Why? Because when the nginx is start working, it serve a file by the name of nginx.conf. This is the main and global file for nginx that is served by nginx. Inside nginx.conf, there is an HTTP context. Inside HTTP context, we have a directive that is include what? Site-available. Make site-available active. By default, site-available is inactive, and this include make site-enable active. When the nginx start, first it call site-enable. Site-enable is linked to site-available. We will configure this. So this is our Ubuntu server. Now let's check that is our nginx running or no. Our nginx is active and running successfully. Now inside the path cd/etc/nginx, we have two files. When the nginx is start for working, read this file nginx.conf. Inside nginx.conf, there is an HTTP context. Inside HTTP context, we have a directive that is include site-enable. Inside site-enable, there is a link that we will create that is linked to site-available, which is all our configurations for reverse proxy. Inside this directory, we will create our configurations. cd site-available. Inside site-available, here is a default configuration file. We don't need. We will create another sudo nano my proxy. Inside this file, we will create our reverse proxy configuration. We have a server. Let's make a comment. This is reverse proxy configs for our back end server. How is the configuration? Our server is listening to port 80. You can change this. The port 80. The server name, if you have a DNS configured for your next cloud, you can put here. For example, you can put example.com. I don't have right now. Or make one. For example, we have next cloud.com. We will configure a DNS for this also. Nextcloud.com. The location is the main configuration that we will put all our reverse proxy configuration here. There is a context proxy pass to http :/. Our backend server IP is 172.17.102. That is serving on port 8080. This is our next cloud IP address. This configuration will proxy pass to our backend server. So then recommend configuration is proxy set header. Our configuration is ready. Let's save it. Control O, Control X. Now link this file that we create right now, my proxy, to site-enable. How can we link? Link ln-s/etc NGINX directory. We have site-available inside site-available. Here is avoid by proxy. Link this will be /etc NGINX will have configuration site-enable. Link this will be Let's check the link successfully or not yet site-enable. Site-enable. And here is a file that is linked from site-enable proxy to site-enable. The link is also successful. Now let's check the configuration. NGINX have recommended checking all the configurations. Our configuration failed because of some errors. Proxy AX. So now let's make our mistake that we made mistakes. Sudo nano my proxy xreal forward. This is our mistake, and next I think I don't have. Control O, save. Again link it. The link is already exist. Let's check the configuration. Sudo nginx-t. Now our configuration is okay. Reload the nginx. Sudo systemctl reload nginx. The nginx reloaded. Now browse the IP address of your nginx. It should serve as a reverse proxy. Our IP address for Nextcloud is 10.102. Now let's browse the nginx IP address 17.3.34. Now that our nginx is serving as a reverse proxy for our backend server, there is no need anymore to serve nginx on port 8080 with this IP address. You have to serve from your nginx IP address 172.17.3.34. The access denied for untrusted domain. You have to add on Nextcloud configuration this IP address that is as a trusted domain for you. Now our nginx is working well and working as a reverse proxy for our backend server. All the requests are coming first to 3.34. That is our nginx reverse proxy, and this NGINX reverse proxy send all the requests to our backend server, take the response from backend server to our NGINX reverse proxy, and NGINX reverse proxy will send all the response to our clients. That mine IP address is 3.31. I make a request from 3.31 to 3.34, which is my reverse proxy. The 3.34 send the request to our backend server 10.102. 10.102 send the response back to 3.34. 3.34 send back the response to 3.31, which is my computer IP address. Next, if you want to configure your reverse proxy to cache the data, also these are the commands that you can also copy these commands and paste to your site-enable. We made a configuration files by the name of my proxy. You can copy this command and paste on that file. Also in the location at proxy cache, my cache. What is my cache? This is my cache. Proxy path to your backend server IP address. These are all necessary. Proxy cache valid is 200D, and the proxy cache valid that is invalid after valid for page not found is after 1 minute. What are the security tips for a reverse proxy? Pay attention to always restrict backend access to only NGINX IP address. Now I can access my Nextcloud from both the IP address of my Nextcloud with port 8080 and from NGINX IP address. Pay attention to restrict your Nextcloud IP address. Block all these IP address. Use firewall rule to block direct public access to the backend server. Block those people that they are accessing your Nextcloud by the IP address. Block this IP address on your server. Just allow your NGINX reverse proxy IP address that is serving as a reverse proxy. Sanitize incoming header to avoid spoofing. We added some header, proxy X header, to avoid spoofing. The servers may need to the client IP address. That by adding proxy headers, we add those IP address to the headers. Also, you can limit a request body size to prevent abuse, to prevent DDoS attack to your backend server by the commands directive client max body size. That a client should not send request more than a limitation that you want. This is also a security tip, an important security tip to limit the request body size to prevent DDoS attack. What are the real world use of NGINX as a reverse proxy? NGINX as a reverse proxy is the best for serving static contents, also dynamic backend applications. It can act as an API gateway for microservices. Also, it's the best for SSL termination and load balancing. Also, it's the best for caching static content. We can say that summary for NGINX as a reverse proxy, it's better for performance, it's very scalable, also it has more security tips, and it's very flexible on our network infrastructures. For today, it's enough. Thanks for watching.